is the original, the legend, the Hall of Famer, hardcore, Pitbull Gary Wolfe, #1. And you're listening to ECWF podcast. Check it out.
Get the F out.
All right, welcome to episode number 13 of ECWF podcast. We will not get the F out. We put the F back in. I'm your host, Sean Bickey. I'm not in the Honda Civic studio. Nope, back in the bedroom for this one. And I'm coming to you live from the Electric City, Scranton, Pennsylvania. On this episode, my guest is ECW original Pitbull Gary Wolfe. We have a conversation about all things ECW, including the incident against Shane Douglas where he broke his neck. We get into all of that. So enjoy. All right, we're back on the podcast here with Pitbull #1, Gary Wolfe, ECW original. How are you today?
Very good. Happy to be here, and I'm happy to be on the show. Thank you.
Okay, and you're somebody who was very outspoken. They tell it how it is.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
You don't hold back, I know.
No, it's not that I don't hold back. I'm just not a bullshitter and an ass kisser. Yeah. You know, that's what it comes down to.
Okay, and you're a Jersey guy?
Originally grown, I was born in Hamilton, New Jersey, and then moved to South Philadelphia, you know, and then now I'm in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Okay. All right, so let's jump into all the good wrestling stuff.
Sounds good.
Okay, getting into wrestling, one of your trainers was Larry Sharp, and he's another Jersey guy.
Yeah, it was him and Charlie Fulton, actually, that broke me in.
Okay, and I believe Larry Sharp was created the Monster Factory?
Yeah. He ran the Monster Factory, is the owner of the Monster Factory. Right now, actually, the Monster Factory has been taken over by Danny Cage, who is also a student of Larry's, and he's doing a really good job, making it as good or even better than it's ever been through the Monster Factory. You, as well as I, know how many men and now women are starting to come out of there that's, making it and been places.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and so how long you been in the wrestling business?
Since 1988.
Okay. And what year... Okay, so I read somewhere there was something with the WWF in like 89 maybe?
Oh, yeah. I was on one of our first jobs was working for George Scott and Paula Jones in North Carolina, which happened to be it was a breeding area for Vince's guys. I mean, when we were there, the Nasty Boys were there. Maniac Matt Bourne was there. We were in the stud stable with Robert Fuller. We were working with Ricky Steamboat, Cowboy Bob Orton, big guys. What the hell was his name? Big John Studd was there. It worked out perfectly. And what happened was, Gorilla Monsoon really liked us and wanted to bring us in. So we were down there, and also Ken Shamrock was there, Kataka was there. So we were pretty much getting them ready for Vince, at the time. Mm-hmm. So, but what happened was Tokyo Joe came down from New Japan. He lived out of Canada, but he worked for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He would scout talent. And he noticed me and my partner down there in North Carolina, and, he visited us twice there and then met us in Philadelphia. And, gave us a great deal to work for New Japan. And, Vince, we could have went to Vince, but the Japan deal was so good at the time, and we were so young. I mean, we were in Japan with the old guy. We were with Benoit, Vader, Bammer, the Samoa SWAT team, Yokozuna, Brian Blair, the Killer Bees. I mean, we were there with all them guys. Salvia Vega, who was actually called TNT then. And, it worked out where, we got a jump start. We came out of Japan before half of the WWF never even been in Japan at that time. Cool. So we took full advantage of it, put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Now, were you under a different name at that point?
In Japan, they called us the Mad Bull Busters.
Okay.
Yeah, they were, at that time, they wanted to own your gimmick and, stuff like that. That's how it worked out.
Okay. So, one of your earlier stages with Tri-State Wrestling and Joel Goodhart.
Yeah, that actually became Eastern Championship Wrestling, which then became Extreme Championship Wrestling. Right. So we were even there in the beginning before, like I said, we was Tri-State Wrestling Alliance, and we were the top tag team then.
Yeah, I think Joel Goodhart sold it to Todd Gordon, and then he renamed it Eastern Championship Wrestling, and then at the time it was as an NWA affiliate. Is that correct?
No, NWA was actually being ran by Dennis Carluzzo.
Oh, okay.
And that was out of South Jersey. So it was kind of like, honestly, I worked for both companies at the time, and then I would go back to Japan when I could, and then, vice versa. But it ended up becoming a war, put it that way.
Okay. And so Eastern Championship Wrestling, Todd Gordon, he was in charge of that, right?
Yeah, then Todd was also, once he brought in Doug Gilbert, and then Doug, was there for a while, and then Paul Heyman came in. Todd Gordon was still the boss. Todd is God. He was the boss. And what it came down to was, Paul was in charge of writing and, making up, but, our locker room was different than most locker rooms. Most of the guys had their point in the match that we were able to add, what I'm saying, where Paul, run us through our way, and then we would finish it up our style,
Okay, and how long were you in ECW?
I stayed in ECW from when it was Tri-State, which was forever, till probably 98, and that's when we were getting ready to sign our deal with WCW.
Okay, and the only reason I said the NWA affiliate is because the whole thing with Shane Douglas and winning the belt, and they threw the belt down.
Yeah, I think that was a shoot, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of fucking craziness that night in the back of the locker room, put it that way.
Did you know he was going to throw the belt down? He was going to do that?
No, I absolutely had no idea. No, and honestly, nobody did. Everybody was in shock. I'm sure there was maybe one or two people that knew, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Once I just looked at, I was friends with Dennis. So when I looked at his face, I knew it wasn't set up. You were able to tell, put it that way.
Yeah, okay. You want to talk a little bit about the early days of ECW, like being part of something so different at the time?
We were just a close locker room, we were trying to, we were evolving into a new wrestling style that, like WWF and, most companies weren't used to, when you go to the one-night stand, you watch it, you see the wrestlers from WWF sitting in the balcony looking down and were in shock. They were just like, the jaws were on the ground, like wondering, these guys work that hard. We don't work nearly as hard as they do. And right after that, what happened? The Attitude Era came. And that's when you seen wrestling like it was, and people loved it. That Attitude Era was great for the business.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, talk a little bit about being around Paul Heyman in the locker room, because he was known for, like, rah-rah, like, locker room speeches.
Oh, yeah, he's the Vince Lombardi of the locker rooms of professional wrestling. Yeah, he would get you amped up and ready to go, put it that way.
Okay.
But that's what his job is, so,
Right.
I'm not going to put nobody down for doing what they do well, so.
Right. I think it was 94. You won the TV title there.
Yeah, I was television champion in 1994. And it didn't take me long. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I got in there, and within a few months, he was ready to throw the belt on me. My mic skills got good, and I lucked out, and he gave me the opportunity. I ran with it. And I was good on the mic, you know what I mean, in front of the camera. Having all them years of practice down south, I was ready. At the time, my partner happened to be up in Germany because I was healing from a knee surgery. So once I got better, he wasn't back yet. So I went in the ECW first.
Okay. And then it was like around maybe the end of 96 and early 97, you're working with, there was like a partnership between like WWF and USWA, and you guys were kind of involved in that?
Yeah, we were in some way or form. We were involved in it, yeah.
Okay.
It was me, the tag team. We were talking up. We even did an angle against ICP, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had their company, and we even did a little bit of that stuff with them.
Okay. It was right around that time, too, I think 96, 97, mass transit incident.
With New Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened to be a guy that was from the town we were in, happened to be in the locker room. His dad happened to be some important person in, maybe a mayor or something of that area. The kid said he's a worker when he actually wasn't. He lied. And one thing led to another, and he ended up getting himself hurt, for his fault, honestly. But it was pretty much of a mess.
Yeah, were you were backstage for that?
Yeah, I was around. I was around for that.
Yeah.
That might have been when I had my neck broke, so I'm not really sure exactly.
Okay, because I mean that led to like you guys about to do pay-per-view, and then that kind of stopped it because of that incident, and then eventually Paul convinced the higher ups or whoever. Barely Legal 97 was the first pay-per-view.
Yeah, because I had broke my neck prior to that. I was ready to go, but at the time Paul didn't want to use me yet. But so I was in the front row for that pay-per-view. I actually jumped a guardrail and attacked Shane Douglas.
Yep. Okay, the broken neck versus Shane Douglas. Over the years, there have been back and forth stories between like the both of you and what actually happened. And can you put it to rest here? And can you just say what happened?
Shit happened. You know what I mean? We got in the ring and we had a conversation. The conversation didn't happen like it was supposed to happen. A lot of it has to do with my arm. I had surgery on my arm at the time, so my arm really wasn't 100% healed. But like I said, I was waiting. I was taking a move I was supposed to be getting, and I didn't get it. I could have probably protected myself better if my arm wasn't as messed up. But my knee never went to the ground because, like I said, I was expecting something else. He happened to have a couple concussions in that match. It was a brutal match that I ran in on. So before, by the time I got in there, who knows what happened, So I don't blame anybody. I mean, accidents happen. I didn't die. I lived. I had to wear a halo. I recovered. And I got back, So, I mean, I did that because I love the business. And, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had lawyers knocking on my door. I could have I could have owned ECW. I'm not like that. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that. So they should actually open their eyes and ears and remember. They may not be where they are now if I would have done what I could have done, but I didn't because I love the business and I just wanted to come back.
Now, because they made a big angle out of that with the halo, you said, and they turned it.
Well, that was my idea.
Okay.
They didn't want to do it. They were scared shitless. When I told them I was coming back and I wanted to do it, they were just like, oh my God, it was done before in WCW. It was done with Bruno and San Martino, and, Shane was even nervous about doing it at first. And I'm like, look, cut promos. I mean, work it, tell them, let's race. Let's have a swimming race. Oh, that's right. You can't swim. You know what I'm saying? So, I wanted to make the angle. The angle could have went so much higher than it was, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Rick Rude there, bringing me back, who was my boy. I mean, you had guys that, that were involved with that. I mean, that angle could have kept going forever, but, at that time, I think Paul was doing stuff behind the boys' back, working for Vince, and maybe that's why he didn't want to push it as much as he could have,
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, if something like that was to come about today, you would never see something like that today in today's WWE or anywhere else.
I mean, like I said, I worked Shane about a year and a half ago, maybe last June. And we did all collar match, and not one person stood. They were standing for the whole 30 minutes. It was a 30-minute Broadway, and they stood the whole time. And we still have heat. So, I mean, we can go do a door collar anywhere and sell the place out.
Yeah. Now, do you remember, the decision to, they said they want to put a halo around you? Were you like hell no, or, just to give me a neck brace, or?
Oh, yeah, I did say hell no. I mean, I didn't want them screwing that in my skull, but I pretty much had no choice because I had to sign a release stating since I didn't let them do it, if I get hurt, it's my fault. And then they showed me a little kid that was 14 that got one done. So I just told him, all right, make me a cocktail and let's get this thing done.
Okay, and did you think at that point, not when it first happened, but going through all that with the halo, did you think that was it for wrestling?
No, because before I even got the halo one, I mean, the first question out of my mouth to the doctor was, can I wrestle again? That was the first thing that I asked him.
Nice.
And he told me, yeah, he goes, you wear it, he goes, he came in with 10 different doctors, just to show them that this guy broke C1 and he's walking around and he ain't dead. There's something wrong, something right here. They never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
So my muscle and my traps saved my life.
Nice. Yeah, I remember because watching Shane Douglas talk about the incident, he was saying you were backstage cracking your neck and stuff, trying to see what was going on, and that could have made it worse. I
thought I jammed my neck. I mean, the Samoans were trying to stretch it out. Thank God they didn't try to adjust me. You know what I'm saying? So that was smart on their end,
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your tag team partner, Pitbull number 2. Question I always wanted to ask: who chose Pitbull 1? Who was Pitbull 2?
I don't know. It just happened. I mean, Paul Heyman actually came up with the idea. We were originally called, when we were managed by Larry Sharp. I was Psychotic Spike, and Anthony was Rabid Rex, which names were given to us by Don Morocco. That's who gave us the names. And then once I dropped the TV title for ECW and I got Anthony in, we decided to tag back up, which I wanted to do in the first place. That's when Paul Heyman said, we'll make it the Mass Superstars, 1 and 2, or the Executioners 1 and 2. We'll just call you the Pitbulls 1 and 2. And we were like, that's cool, no problem.
Do you want to talk a little bit about working with Francine there?
Yeah, Francine was cool. She was just getting into business. She was with us for a while, especially in CWA and stuff, and that's how we met her. And then Paul actually put her with I was with Jason for a while, and then when Ant came, they put us together as the Pitbulls again. And then they put Francine with us, which was no problem. We had her with us before. And then eventually they changed. Once Francine turned on us, we were the first tag team ever to put a girl through the table. Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Once we put her through the table, that was it. We got rid of her. And I think we went back with Jason Knight, actually.
Okay. Okay, so...
But managers, we've had so many managers in the business. I mean, we were in the stud stable number 2, for God's sake. I mean, Robert Fuller, So, but we've had managers in the business for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of something like nowadays you see almost coming back a little bit with the Lanas and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand, having a manager in your corner makes you do things that other tag teams can't do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it helps the story. It makes the story better. I mean, I'm just glad Vince is actually bringing back tag teams. I'm actually surprised.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you said you were there till '98. At that point, were some guys like already jumping ship at that point?
Oh, way before me. Yeah, a lot of guys have already jumped ship way before we did. I haven't had a knee surgery at the time, so I was supposed to go. We were going to be in Ravens Flock, to be honest with you, but my knee was messed up. I had to get surgery, so we waited. It got better. We were doing indies at the time, and we were making good money. We were doing double shots on weekends easily. And once I was better, then I remember Rick Rude and it was Rick Rude, Kevin Sullivan, Raven, Terry Taylor, and Diamond Dallas Page called us at my house actually, and told us, "Look, we're on our way to Philly next weekend. We want to have a meeting with you guys. We want to bring you guys in." And we were like, "All right, great." So we met them, had a verbal agreement. We were going to do 3 years, and honestly, they were putting us against the Steiner brothers for Christmas pay-per-view, and they were putting the straps on us. I mean, honestly, when they asked us to go work for Vince, our first angle was going to be against the Hart Foundation, and they were going to put us in WrestleMania 3, and we were going over for the belts, but we decided, at that time, I always was taught, look, they're going to give us a strap. There's nowhere else to go but down. Mm-hmm. I'd rather go in the middle, work my way up to the belt, you know what I'm saying? But we picked Japan, like I had said, and at that time, WCW was rocking, and they were going against Vince, and, we were said, absolutely, we'll do the deal. So we had a verbal agreement, and then that week following, I called them up, and they were supposed to fly us down to Atlanta to sign our contracts, and that's when Vince bought out WCW. Mm-hmm. So that's when Bischoff and them said, look, I can't hire nobody. We're on a freeze.
Yeah.
Because of so it was just bad timing for us, I guess.
Okay, and the decision to leave ECW and to WCW, did you, any conversation with Paul about that?
Yeah, we just gave him our 2-week notice, but he couldn't really say much because we were the last 2 to go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Jericho, Eddie Guerrero. They were our group of guys we used to go to Japan with back in the day. So we were already in Perry Saturn. We were ready to go. We were the last ones to leave. Public Enemy already left. Bruce Brothers already left. We got offered, but we said no because we were trying to be loyal. Plus, Paul was taking care of us. We were getting paid. I'm not going to say we weren't. But at that time, we gave him our 2-week notice. I said, you got to jump. Everybody else has. Mm-hmm. It's time, now I'll pass the torch. Let these other, like Danny Doring and Roadkill and Chris Chetty and, guys that were coming out of that school of Taz, they're the next generation for ECW. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, when ECW closed out, what was your feelings then?
Well, I didn't mind that Vince bought it out. That wasn't the problem to me. The problem was Vince didn't keep it like he should have. He put WWF guys in there and gave them the belt. Even Vince McMahon had the belt at one time. I'm like, yeah. I think he buried it because, honestly, it was giving his company competition. I don't care what he says. That we came out of a bingo hall, all he wants. Our ratings did the talking. Come on. But their ratings were horrible. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, they weren't even pulling in a 2, 1 point something. I mean, come on. I think we were doing better than they were, and we were on at 12 o'clock at night and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and what was one of the craziest things you seen maybe in an ECW locker room while you were there? If you could say.
Crazy. I'll give you one that I'm involved in. The night that Shane Douglas grabbed me by the halo and threw me down in the ring. That night, people jumped the guardrail. I mean, Shane Douglas thought he was either stabbed or shot. I mean, it was insane. Like they ran out, jumped in the car, and I really didn't know what was going on because like, they were stretching me out, but people were just jumping the car. That was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen other things. I mean, I've seen guys getting arguments and getting fights and stupid shit, you know.
Right.
But I mean, I've been called out of the locker room one time. I remember Paul said, those people right there and pointed at the camera, there was people in the front row starting trouble. I remember going out there just wrapping our chains around their necks and pulling them right over the guardrail. You know, beat the shit out of them, and then this police would walk them out, you know.
Nice.
So that's the kind of, yeah.
It was just a different time then, too, like.
Yeah, you know, and believe me, man, I can write a book. I got so much stuff.
Yeah, you should.
We'll see what happens, you know.
Okay, so after, somewhere down the road, you reunited with Todd Gordon, right?
Oh, yeah, I was never reunited. I was always friends with him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but, like, as far as working for him.
Yeah, we ended up doing 3PW.
Okay, and you were first ever 3PW champion and also a tag team champion while you were there.
Yeah. We also did Pro Wrestling Unplugged as well. We were doing some work with them. So.
Okay. And then, what year was that?
It was, I don't remember, man. Probably in the 2000s.
Okay.
Late 2000s, maybe.
Because I know 2005, you touched on a little bit, they did the ECW One Night Stand, and then you were actually featured on that, doing like a promo video for all the wrestlers that had passed away.
Yeah, I did that there.
How did that come about? Like, did somebody reach out to you, or?
I just went, and then I remember Taz had me go do something, and then Tommy told me he wanted me to cut a promo. And then, so I went with Tommy, and we cut the promo. Well, we cut the promo was where everybody was eating, you know, where they had the food and stuff. So it was hard because all the boys were in there when I was cutting the promo.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, you know, it was very emotional. I mean, guys were crying, you know, it was that bad. So it wasn't easy for me to do it, and I'm usually a one-taker. I don't fuck around with a camera, you know?
Yeah.
But it was something that was kind of hard to do. So I tried to do the best I can.
Yeah. You got inducted into the Hardcore Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me and my partner actually were inducted into the Hardcore Hall of Fame, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we were inducted with Too Cold Scorpio, Boomini, Shane Douglas, actually. Yeah, I think that's one.
And is that like a physical Hall of Fame, like a place you could go?
Well, yeah, that's in the ECW. Well, now it's called the 2300 Arena.
Oh, okay.
We're hanging in the rafters. There's not many guys up there yet. You know, they're still building it. There's only maybe 15 guys in it so far. So.
Oh, nice.
So it's an honor to be in it. Put it that way.
Absolutely. Okay.
You know, we're there with Terry Funk, Sabu. You know, people that are, you know, Cactus Jack. You know, Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, we're up there with some names. You know, public actors. Yeah.
I think I read somewhere too. I think it was like '96, going way back. PWI 500. You were number 80.
Yes.
And I mean, is that a big deal to you?
80 out of 500 is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And that's in the world. So, plus you got to remember, 1996, we were number 2 best match ever at the arena in 1996.
Right.
The number 1 match that beat us that year was Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, it was the 4-way dog collar match with Raven and Stevie Richards.
Nice.
Best out of 3 falls.
I hate it. And nowadays, you're still at it, still wrestling.
Yeah.
Are you a trainer at CZW?
No, I was a trainer at ECW. I wasn't a trainer at Combat Jet. I was asked to be at the beginning of it, and it just wasn't going to happen at that time. So.
Okay. All right. And
a lot of my students that went to, I've been in 3 professional wrestling schools called the Animal House, and most of a majority of my students. Actually, I was in Australia, actually jumped ship and went to Combat Zone to work.
Do you want to talk about Sean Patrick Mullen, the booking agent?
Oh, my booking agent, Sean, yeah.
He's the one that set this up for me and everything, so.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in booking the Pitbull, all you do is get in touch with Sean, and, this Sean will take care of it. His last name's Mullen, and, he handles my bookings, and, majority of them, if you don't get in touch with me, you get in touch with him. And we're going to be doing a lot of things this coming summer, a lot of Comic-Cons, a lot of WrestleFests, a lot of autograph signings. Plus, we'll be doing some bookings here and there. So, plus also seminars. Anybody out there listening that has a wrestling school, I am the king of seminars. People don't want to believe it, but once I do want it, people see what I do. Like I said, I've done 3 wrestling schools. My seminars are to the point where I tell them like it is. Like I said, I was brought up with George Scott and Paul Jones. With the old school guys. I'm not going to be. I was on the road working 6 nights a week, making $75 a night. Getting ready to go work for Vince McMahon. I had opportunities. You know what I mean? But I took and chose the ones that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a lot different now, the business is a lot different.
Definitely. Any regrets looking back on anything?
No, I've been everywhere I want. I've been places where I never thought I'd end up being, I lived in Australia, been to New Zealand, worked in Japan, Germany, all over the world. So I'm happy right now. I'm very content. I wish things could be. There's other things. I wish Vince McMahon would send me a check like he should. Wouldn't mind getting some action figures made up. I can always use a couple of dollars. I got a nephew that's 9, going to be 9 years old. He might be the 2nd generation of the Pitbull.
There you go.
Yeah, he's going to be a monster. He was 22 inches and 10 pounds when he was born.
Wow.
So. Yeah, and he started martial arts at 4 years old, and he's 9 years old now, so look out, 20 years from now, maybe 15 years from now, you're going to see a new person come around with the last name of Wolf.
I was going to say maybe Pitbull number 3, but...
Exactly. That's exactly what we're thinking.
Nice.
Like I said, yeah. But anybody interested, check me out on Facebook. It's I'm under Gary, Gary Wolfe, WOLF. Get on that page. That's like my main page. I have a fan page, Pitbull number 1. But that's my main page. I got 4 other pages. But check out Gary Wolfe's page because it's updated and I keep all my stuff in there.
Okay. All right. Anything else you wanna throw out there, or wrapping up here?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it. Everybody look out for it. You're doing a good job. Your questions are professional, where most people don't really, give you good questions. Okay. But I want to thank everybody, and like I said, get in touch with my booker. My boy here, Sean, will plug me again when I get off the phone, and check it out, man. And like I said, I'm ready to do seminars. If you schools want to get together and get some stuff together, give my boy a shout out. We'll work out a good deal, and it will be interesting to see I want to see how in shape your students are. How about that?
Okay.
That's what I want to see.
Okay. Thank you again. All right, that was my conversation with Pitbull Gary Wolfe. Some good stuff in there. Really enjoyed that one. I want to give a special shout out to Sean Patrick Mullen once again for setting that up for me and getting him on as a guest. I really appreciate it. And in order to book Pitbull Gary Wolfe for your conventions or seminars or wrestling shows, get in touch with Sean Patrick Mullen on Facebook, and he will link you up with Pitbull Gary Wolfe, just like he did with me. So, getting out of here on my plugs. Facebook group page, Electric City Wrestling Fans. Please join or add people if you haven't already. And on iTunes, make sure you guys subscribe, like, rate, review Electric City Wrestling Fans. The more people I get, the more sponsorship I might be able to get. So help me out. Thanks.
You're all set up, aren't you?